Welcome to Kentucky State Park's Recreation Station. This is Lisa. I'm coming to you from John James Audubon State Park in Henderson, Kentucky. For many years, Audubon State Park has been providing educational programming for schools, public groups, and special events. It's not surprising that some of our most popular programs involve the use of live animals. We do keep several species in our nature center for educational purposes. And in keeping with John James Audubon's love of birds, we also have a live raptor program here at Audubon. Raptors are birds of prey, such as eagles, hawks, falcons, kites, owls, and vultures. The birds in our program come to us as non-releasable birds due to injuries or disabilities that would prevent them from surviving on their own in the wild. Through special government permitting, we are allowed to have them here as part of our program. Let me introduce you to one of our program birds. This is our eastern screech owl. Screech owls are a pretty common bird in the eastern half of the United States, and this particular one, if you look at her feather colors, they are a reddish color, so she is called a rufous morph. About a third of the population of screech owls are rufous, and 2/3 of the population are usually gray. They have a complex pattern of stripes and colorations on their feathers that help them blend in with the tree bark, as they will likely sit in their hole in the tree and rest throughout the day. They are cavity nesters, and so they'll find a spot in a tree that has been hollowed out from fungus or another animal, like an abandoned woodpecker hole. Now you'll have to excuse the way our owl looks today. She's in the process of molting some of her facial feathers, and so she looks a little scruffy. Screech owls are really tiny owls. They average anywhere from 6 to 9 inches tall, and believe it or not, their average weight is about the same as a baseball. Screech owls have adapted pretty well to urban areas, so it's pretty likely that you could find them around your home or in a park. Any area that has plenty of trees would make a good habitat for them, especially if there's water nearby. One of the reasons they're so adaptable to city landscapes is because they have such a variety as their diet. As they hunt, they will take, of course, lots of rodents like mice and moles, even a squirrel or rabbit, but they'll also eat other things like frogs and lizards, even jump into the water to grab a tadpole or small fish. And surprisingly, they eat a large number of insects. They're even agile enough to possibly capture a bat. She is with us because she has lost an eye. With the loss of that eye, her hunting skills would be diminished because she would lose her depth perception and not be able to pinpoint exactly where to grab her prey as easily as she should. It also makes her vulnerable to becoming prey herself, as other animals could sneak up on her without her realizing it. Sometimes you could see a screech owl if you look for them at dawn or at dusk, as they may be active at that time. But more than likely, you're going to have to learn what they sound like, because they stay so well hidden, you will probably only know they're around if you hear their unique call.
Eastern screech owl.
This is another of our program birds. This is a barred owl. They're also pretty common to the eastern half of the United States and also into Canada. They are called barred because on their backs are horizontal bars, and then down their bellies are vertical bars. Their coloration helps them blend in very well to the tree where they might roost. Just like other owls, they are nocturnal, except the barred owls sometimes forget the owl rules of being active at night. I hear barred owls calling all throughout the day. They'll call in the morning, in the afternoons, and all throughout the night as well. They have a very distinct call, very similar to a barking dog, but you can sometimes put words to it. Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you all? If you remember that phrase, you'll recognize it when you hear this bird, and you'll remember, oh yeah, barred owl.
Barred owl.
Did you hear that? Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you all?
Like other nocturnal animals, owls have huge eyes. They have extra rods and cones as light receptors to take in every available light that they can in order to see in almost complete darkness. That gives them an advantage for hunting at night. And barred owls typically hunt after sunset and throughout the night. One thing though about having huge eyes, they're actually locked in place by a ridge of bone that circles their eye. Because of that, they're not able to move their eyes around like a human can, because we can look up and down and left and right with no problem. But they have to turn their head in order to look around since their eyes are fixed. Now, here's that question. Can owls turn their head all the way around? Well, actually, no. They can turn pretty far and pretty fast, and it might look like it spins all the way, but it does not. They could look over their shoulder like you and I, but keep going to look straight down their back and the other shoulder before they'd have to flip back. So instead of a full 360, they can do about 270 degrees one direction and then flip back and get 270 degrees the other. So they have a pretty wide range of sight that helps them pinpoint where everything is. Owls also have a very round head, and that helps to direct sounds to their ears. Their head and face is kind of like a satellite dish, and as the sounds come bouncing in, facial grooves direct them right to their ears. But here's what's unique about owls. Their ears are not directly across like yours and mine. They have one which is up high and one ear which is down low. That enables them to decide, did that sound I heard come from up above or did it come from down below? It gives them a pretty good idea of where everything is around them. And they depend a lot on their hearing at night to help them hunt, in addition to their eyesight. Barred owls like a mature tree, so they'll be in an old forest, or perhaps a bottomland forest along a river. That's kind of their favorite prime habitat to be in. And as they sit in the tree, they'll look for and listen for their prey down below and then swoop down to grab. And of course, owls, like other raptors, grab their food with their feet. And the special claws that they have, talons, enable them to grip that prey, kill it, and carry it off. This owl is with us because of a club foot, which hinders his ability to grasp his prey or hold on to a perch. Owls have specialized feathers, which give them silent flight. The edges are texturized, very much like our eyelashes, and that changes the flow of air as it goes over their wings, and it deadens the sound that the air would make as it passes over their feathers. So they could swoop down and surprise something. They also go a step further. Not only are their feathers specialized, but they have feathers in places that other birds don't usually. For instance, the owl has feathered eyelids, and the top of its nose is feathered. So there's no exposed skin on the face that could make a sound. They also have feathers which go all the way down their feet onto their toes. So even their legs and toes are covered so that they don't make any noise. Goodbye from Lisa at John James Audubon State Park. Thanks for watching Recreation Station.